morning students. Today we are going to study a poem of 10th standard. That name is That Time of the Year. That Time of the Year, the first of all we will study what is the meaning of this title. That time, it refers to the autumn season. So autumn season, when the trees shed their leaves, that season is considered here as that time. So it is the autumn season. Autumn season is considered as that time of the year. A year is having so many seasons. Among the seasons, that time is refers to that autumn season. So it is written by William Shakespeare. He is a very famous poet, and he used to write so many sonnets. So this is the 73rd sonnet of William Shakespeare. We will study the first stanza of the poem. Let's see. That time of year thou mist in me beheld. So what does these words? So that time of year, we can understand this. It is considered as autumn season. Autumn season, you mist. Mist is nothing but it is an archaic word. Archaic words which were used by the Shakespeare. Shakespeare used to write that archaic words. So many archaic words he has used. Among them, thou, it means you. What is the meaning of thou? It means you, and mist means may. So what he is telling, that time of year you may in me behold. In me you can find that time of the year. It's nothing but that autumn season you can find in me. In me refers to that Shakespeare. In Shakespeare's life, he is comparing the period of his life, in which period he is in the autumn season. Like when the trees shed their leaves, the same way here Shakespeare is in such a period of his life that maybe after some days he is going to die. As the trees shed their leaves, it is the last season for their life, for the life of the leaves. The same way, this is the last period, the last stage of his life he is expressing. When yellow leaves, the color of the leaves turns into yellow in the autumn season. So leaves which have faded, it means that leaves faded their color into green, it means. So when yellow leaves means green leaves converted into yellow or none. Few trees are not having any leaves. So that's why he is telling that yellow leaves or none or few do hang. So on the branch, on the tree, we can find some trees are not having any leaves. Some trees will have few leaves, and some are having very few leaves. And do hang is telling means very few leaves on some trees, and some trees already shed their all leaves, and there is no leaf on the branches of the tree. Upon those boughs is nothing but branches. On the branches of the tree, on the branches of a tree, there were no any leaf. Upon those boughs which shake against the cold, because of the winter season is having the cold. Because of that cold, what happened? That leaves have converted their color as well as they were shaken, and they have shed their leaves. Bare ruined quoits. So what is saying? Bare ruined quoits. It is said to the group of singers. Choir is nothing but the group of singers who sings in the church. So here, who are the singers? The birds are the singers who sits on the branches of the tree and they used to sing. So the bare is nothing but ruined, empty. Bare is nothing but empty. The branches of the tree is empty right now, because no bird used to sit on such a tree where there were no leaves. So that's why he is saying that bare ruined quoits are told to the branches of our tree, where late sweet birds sang. Where the late sweet birds used to sang there. But right now, because of the season, there were no any bird, and there is no any singing of the birds we can find. So that's why they are considered as bare ruined quoits. Is nothing but bare leafless branches where sweet birds used to sing. The second stanza of the poem. What the second stanza is telling us? In me thou hast. In me refers to in Shakespeare. in Shakespeare, in me, thou is nothing but you. This is also an archaic word which we have seen in the first stanza. Thou, cest is also an archaic word. So it means that see. Cest is nothing but see. So what is the meaning? In me, you see. In me, you see. Me refers to Shakespeare. Shakespeare के अंदर हम क्या देख सकते हैं? The twilight of such day. Twilight is nothing but that fading light of sun. Fading light of sun. That picture I have shown you here. The fading light of the day we can find in him. Is nothing but fading light. Why he is talking about? Secondly, he is comparing his life to the time of the day when the sun is going to fed it. When the sun is going to fed it and it is going to convert into a complete darkness. As after sunset, faded in the west. What is going to happen? As after the sunset, जब sunset हो जाएगा, when the after the sunset, faded means fade in the west. West में जाके क्या हो जाएगा? वो fade हो जाएगा. Which by and by black night doth take away. And after that what will happen? Which by and by, उसके बाद क्या होगा? Black night does take away. Black night क्या कर लेगी? वो जो fade जो है, मतलब last twilight जो है उसको लेके चली जाएगी. Means twilight भी नहीं दिखाई देगी. In the same manner, he is also going to leave this world and he also not visible for anyone. Death's second self that seals up all interest. Here the death second self word is used. This means that night. Death second self is nothing but night is compared. Night is compared with the death second self. In your examination, you might be get the question that what is compared with the death second self. That is, night is compared with the death second self that seals up all interest. When it get dark, everything becomes like silent. Everything becomes in rest. So this is the second stanza. This third stanza, what he is comparing his life to the glowing of such fire. Fire के glow के साथ compare कर रहे हैं. In the first stanza, he has compared his life to the autumn. Second stanza, he has compared to the twilight, and then in third stanza, he is comparing to the embers and ashes. Let's see. In me, thou sayest. In me is again refers to Shakespeare. You sayest. You can see. What you can see? The glowing of such fire. ऐसी fire का glow देखोगे. ऐसी fire का glow देखोगे वहाँ. That on the ashes of his youth doth lie. जो किसके ऊपर जल रही है? उसकी यूथ की ashes के ऊपर जल रही है. मीन्स उसकी यूथ तो खत्म हो चुकी है. Just that now it is the glowing of the fire. Fire is glowing like embers are glowing here. Only something is left. As the deathbed whereon it must expire. वो कहाँ पे जाके expire होने वाली है? जो ash है वो कहाँ पे जाके expire होने वाली है? On the deathbed. Where it is going to be expire? On the deathbed it is going to be expired. Consumed with that, after consuming that which it was nourished by. After consuming the remaining that the ashes of his youth. उसके एसेस जो है यूथ के वो भी क्या कर लेगी? वो जो डेथ बेड है उसको कंज्यूम कर लेगी. एंड ही इज गोइंग दैट वाज गोइंग टू बी न्यूरिश्ड. हु इज गोइंग टू बी न्यूरिश्ड? दैट द एम्बर्स आर गोइंग टू बी न्यूरिश्ड एंड इट इज गोइंग टू बी ही इज गोइंग टू बी डाइंग ऑन दैट डे. Now the last actually it is not a stanza, it is a couplet because it is having only 2 lines. The 2 lines stanza is considered as the couplet, and this couplet is giving the conclusion. That what conclusion? What he is going to tell us? Let's see. This thou you perceive means become aware. When you become aware, what he is telling? When you become aware of what? Of that which makes thy love more strong. When you aware that I am going to leave this world, when you become aware of this thing that he is going to leave this world at the time, what do you do? When you perceive this which makes thy love more strong. Thy means nothing but your. It is also an archaic word. Thy is nothing but yours. Yours love becomes stronger, more strong to love that well which thou must leave ere long. love me before I leave you. What he is telling in that last stanza, that he is going to tell us that he is going to leave from this world, he is going to leave this world and going to stay in that heaven. So he is requesting his friends, those to whom he loves, he is requesting that to love him right now. If he leaves, if he left this world, at the time it is not possible to like him or love him. So before I leave this world, he is requesting all his beloveds to love him. So that time of the year in this poem, that actually what he is trying to tell us, that what we do, we take the things grantedly. When we are having that things, we take it grantedly, or when we are having someone, we take them grantedly. But when we lose them, actually at the time we will identify the real value of that person or real value of the things. So in this poem, he is telling that when we are having these things, so we have to love them and we have to give the respect to that things and understand the value of the things.